Picturing the yin-yang symbol helps me so much right now to process things. I think I'm looking at all the different sides of stuff, trying to find perspective. So one thing I'm realizing, there's a family member who has told me a few times, now I'm 45 now, and they've told me a few times that they were determined that as a child I would not make their life a misery. So, I had autism and I was undiagnosed. I didn't get a diagnosis till I was 40. So yeah, I probably was not the easiest child. I tried my best. I have so many hang-ups and things now related to not fitting in and not being the same as others. Anyway, I'm making this video about this thing I've noticed. So I'm picturing the yin-yang, okay? So that person was determined that I would not make their life a misery. That means I'm labelled as wrong and bad and difficult. So the other side to that is that I have behaviour patterns of trying to prove to people that I am good and nice and likeable. That's quite big for me to realise. I've realised that actually the only person who needs to believe I'm any good is me. Everybody else is so changeable. I used to be like a chameleon. I'd be one person with a person over here. I'd be someone else with this person over there. I'd be someone else with this person over here. My guide for who I was constantly in flux, because all I did was agree with the person I was talking to, because I wanted them to like me. So I wanted to be the same as them so they'd like me. But now I have a sense of self. I've done so much work. I've been in therapy. I've done all sorts. I've got a strong sense of self. And I am the solid thing in my life. Everything else flows around me. And I think that's a really healthy way to be. If you have a core sense of self and then the outside happens around that, I think that's better rather than trying to fit to the outside, because everything in the outside is constantly changing. So there's no solidity, there's no stability in trying to fit myself to others. But if I start with me and then I adapt or choose whether it's right for me, then I usually end up guided to things that feel healthy and good. So I think that this conditioning to want to please people, to fit in, to be considered as nice and lovable, came from the things I was taught by that person. But now, my sense of value and knowledge of whether I'm nice and good and lovable comes from what I know of myself. And do you know what? I show myself my strength every single day. I live with 20 conditions, physical conditions. You know, I'm in pain constantly. I've had so many things taken away from me. The lifestyle I've built. I had to leave my job. I could be bitter. I could be an absolute bastard by now. I could be blaming the world. I could be angry. I could be taking it out on everyone, and I'm not. Do you know what I'm trying to do instead? Even while I'm poorly, I'm trying to build something that will help people. And do you know what? I'm not doing it to be seen as anything. I'm not doing it to be seen as nice. I'm not doing it to be seen as good. I'm doing it because I know this stuff makes a difference. Because I think some of this crap in the world needs to change. Because if it had been different for me growing up, I think I would have had a better time, to be honest. Well, I suppose everybody would. I want to be part of the change. I am already being part of the change, and I'm not doing it to get anything for myself. I'm doing it because it's needed. In fact, what I get from a lot of people around me is criticism, harm, and pressure. I'm still doing it though. Some things are more important than people's opinions. Real recovery is. Be real, people.